Natural Sponge is back here live, guys. Podcast number 6 on this beautiful Monday night, late night here. And it's the first time I've been in the podcast room by myself doing this, so I don't really know my volume, my tone. Nobody's giving me weird looks or laughing at me, so this should be fun. The song right there, I don't know how good you can hear it. And either way, if you didn't hear it well, make sure you go to YouTube and listen to it, or go to music or whatever it is, and check out Besser, 5 a.m. Grind. It's actually Brendan Besser who graduated from Duke University, played basketball as a walk-on there. Actually rode his bike from like New York to California or something during one of the summers. And one of Grayson Allen's buddies, they had an internship with the Chicago Cubs. Big business guy now. And but yeah, 5 a.m. Grind, Besser. He put that as pretty hype, dude. It's especially any athlete that's working out in the morning or looking for a different little vibe to get on when you're in the middle of a workout. Check out some of Besser's stuff. It's pretty sweet. I gotta be very, very real with you guys, and as always, and tell you guys thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Over 500 listeners over our first 5 podcasts, and that's amazing. You guys keep sharing and keep listening, and just over a week we're over 500 listeners or 500 listens for our first 5 podcasts, and then our little videos we do and stuff like that too. And as always, Natural Sponge and Friends, powered by DW Baseball, Diamond Wizards Baseball. And just so everyone knows, we finally have an RSS feed figured out, and we will be on Apple Podcast and Spotify and SoundCloud and apparently Google Podcast and every other podcast that's known to man. We will be on those. And if anybody knows a podcast platform that we do not know about, just go ahead and shoot it to us on Instagram or Twitter, and we will be coming out with a Natural Sponge Podcast Facebook page to share as well. So we put in everything we put on Twitter, we put on Instagram, everything we put on Instagram, we put on Facebook under my personal accounts. We're going to make a new one, and then we'll keep going from there. And who knows how big it'll grow. We're trying to expand. Speaking on the expansion here in podcast number 6, we got to give a big shout out to Tucker Perry on our first podcast, and he was absolutely amazing. Over 200 views on that one on YouTube, and he is hilarious. He'll definitely be back in the booth with us on air. The second one was me, just giving the background about some of my past and where some of the stuff I've been through and what I've been through and where I am today. Number 3 was Connor Walters, former player of mine. And number 4 was Josh Hester, which is hilarious right now because I got MLB Network playing in the background over here on TV, and I just saw that stupid play from Derek Jeter. They did a little flip and got the guy out when he was out of position. So anyway, Josh, I just saw it again. He was definitely out of position, but thanks for being on. And just so everyone knows out there, I FaceTimed him. He has moved into his dorm, likes his roommate, and the next night we FaceTimed. And the guy that picked up his phone FaceTiming was podcast number 5, Austin Pageant, which was a phenomenal one. I knew it would be good, but I honestly, I don't know what I think these things are going to end up being because I don't really know what to expect. I've never done a podcast. I've never been on the radio. I've worked with some DJ stuff and everything like that, but I've never been able to, really play it back and listen and critique and try to get through interviews. And it's not really an interview, but, sit down stuff. And I think Austin Pageant absolutely nailed it, or as my wife would say, knocked it out of the park. But seriously, Pageant's was phenomenal, and we could have gone for 3 hours. So he will be on again in October, him and Josh both, and then probably again in December. And we're just going to keep the thing rolling. But when we're talking about expansion, we got 2 more baseball players coming in this week. We got Fox Wagner, the Manimal. You guys think man, myth, legend. You guys don't know about the Manimal yet. We will get into that. When he gets on the podcast, how the Manimal thing started. But you want to talk about a big donkey? Guy's a big donkey. Coached him in the first ever Diamond Wizards showcase team with Tucker Perry. They were on the same team, and it was. This guy's a legend. He's actually moving to, on the 23rd of August this year, he's moving to his newest college, a D2 school up in West Virginia Wesleyan. And we wish him nothing but the best of luck. And you'll hear him here in the coming days. I think we got him scheduled for this coming Wednesday. So Besides that, Ethan Lester will be on again. He was actually kind of a color guy on the first Tucker Perry. He's the one that helped us set this stuff up and get everything that we needed to do and get it set up correctly. And also, we did our first ever practice podcast, me and him and I together in this very room. And it was, I thought it was phenomenal. So just can't wait to see what the second one's going to bring. But, of course, with Natural Sponge and friends, life, sports, love, we got to branch out. We got to get just non-amateur baseball players in this joint. No offense to my guys. The stories are awesome. But I cannot wait until this week. We have Campbell Timms, the pastor at Live Oak Church, coming on down in near Blackmore Golf Course down in, I guess that's Myrtle's Inlet. I guess that's the address. But right down past St. James High School, down on the left near Blackmore Golf Course. Campbell will be coming in, and the stories he can tell. Awesome guy, terrific guy, and we have a lot of sad stories to tell as well with that. But inspiring stories. Some injuries to some family members, and his son got injured in a car wreck, and he is coming out like a champ, dude. This kid has worked his tail off, and prayers to him every day, every night. And he is working his tail off to get back from a brain injury he suffered in that. And the crazy thing is Campbell and his wife, who's a school teacher in this area, you could see at times they were tired, obviously, and rightfully so. But they were champions as well. They did every single thing they could do and never skipped a beat. And I'm sure behind closed doors they did, like we all do. But literally, by the grace of God, they special family, and everyone's still growing and healing and recovering every day. And it's amazing. I cannot wait to get him on the air. Just from the missionary mission trip stories he can tell, and everything that comes with Campbell as a pastor. It's one of those deals where you go to the church, and very small church, and he's not talking just to a group of people, or he's not it literally feels like he's connecting with you and every single person individually throughout. It's like a Sunday morning Bible study with one of the greatest men I've met on this planet. And then to expand even further, we had mentioned it on a couple other podcasts, and we actually have a call with him in tomorrow, and we are going to set up the time, ladies and gentlemen. Alan Bybee of Alan Bybee in Grasstown, their number one song, Jesus Swing the Wrecking Ball, on the Bluegrass Country charts is number one. It's been number one for a while. So literally on Natural Sponge and Friends podcast, on our 7th or 8th one, we're going to have the best mandolin player in bluegrass in the world. You can't beat that. That's super exciting, and I cannot wait. He's a native of Walnut Cove, North Carolina, where my mother grew up. Shout G-Ma Hero, Hero G-Ma for the hookup there. But seriously, you guys go check out Jesus Swing the Wrecking Ball by Alan Bybee in Grasstown. It's a dope song. We listen to it in the cage sometimes. I play it on, and I put it on, and when the guys start listening to it, the first 7 seconds, they kind of look at me like, what in the world are you playing? And then the vibes kicks in, and it's pretty dope. So, and I've listened, he actually gave my mom a couple CDs and stuff, one for my granny and everything, and I listened to most of the album so far, and it's dope. And I don't know if you're a bluegrass fan or not, but if you're not, give it a listen, because it might grow on you, because it's pretty chill. So with podcast 6 here, just touching on a couple things. Already 10 minutes in, trying to keep around 20-25 probably. Maybe you can go 23 minutes. Shout out 2-3, 23 Enigma. But just touching on some things and letting guys know that we're not just doing this for just a little hobby and something to do here. We're trying to get grow this thing each and every day and get different people in, and we're not going to put one video up and then go 6 weeks without posting another one. We're here with a plan, with a schedule, and we're going to get this sucker done. In podcast number 5, me and Austin Padgett got into a discussion about Somerville High School in Somerville, South Carolina. I'm guessing that's where it is. But the green hat with the white S, and talking about I've always wanted one of those. Well, when we posted on Natural Spun's Twitter, we tagged Somerville Baseball in it. And I got to give a huge shout out to Somerville Baseball, Cole Messina, Mike Messina, and oh my gosh, I got to know. Hold on one second there. This is by the seat of my pants here. I'm flying. But it's super dope. I'm guessing, I don't know Cole that well. Obviously don't really know. Carson Messina also followed us. I'm guessing maybe a little brother. Looks like a little brother on there. And then even kid Tyler Hansen, Somerville Baseball, followed us. So we got like 5 or 6 followers from Somerville Baseball. And they said they were going to shoot me a hat when they get the new order in. I'm super pumped for that. The Green Wave, man. And I was tweeting back and forth with Cole. Also, this kid is a rising junior, or a junior now, school back in at Somerville High School. Already signed with the University of South Carolina Gamecocks for baseball. Kid's an absolute stud. And I guess I'm being a fan here. Josh Esser actually says I'm going to be the one that starts Cole Messina's fan club. But as a baseball guy, as a baseball professional, the way he plays the game, the way his motor and his tenacity and ferociousness on the diamond really separates him and gives him that so-called it that everybody talks about. Nobody knows what it is. If you're looking for what it is, look at Cole Messina with the Canes in the summer and in that green and white and gold jersey with Somerville during the high school season. And I think he plays football as well. So best of luck to you, Cole. Thanks for reaching out to us on Twitter and Instagram. Somerville Baseball, you guys rock. Best of luck to you guys through the fall in all of your respective sports. And can't wait to rock the hat. We're gonna rock the hat every podcast. We'll post that up on all the social media when we get that hat in. Also want to give a shout out to my main man Burt Myers. He just won the Bowman Gray modified championship for the 10th time in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Bowman Gray is actually the longest weekly running NASCAR sanctioned track in America. And it's pretty cool. It's around the football field at Winston-Salem State University. And it's where obviously where Winston State plays football at, Big Red Machine. And it's crazy that how fast these cars go around the football field. They come down to Myrtle Beach a couple times a year. You go watch them there. It's sweet. They race at Martinsville. They race under the lights at Bristol. It's just modifieds are incredible machines, and they also have street stock, sportsman, and stadium stock series cars there. So it's super cool. And knowing Bert my whole life, Walnut Cove, North Carolina, and his brother Jason. And I have to give a shout out that with his 10th championship, Bert actually tied Tim Brown. His wife Megan, I grew up with, Megan Flint, now Megan Flint Brown. They have a beautiful little boy named Cam. And she was joking with me on Facebook when I posted shouts to Dirty South Racing, my boy Burt Myers, for winning his 10th. And I said, you guys are tied 10-10 now. Just everybody quit and go fishing. But as competitors, obviously we got to go back. And I didn't realize that for you Bowman Gray people listening, I knew that I figured Burt had won 3 straight, I thought, maybe 2. I knew 2, maybe 3, but this was actually 4 straight for him. So I know Tim's definitely going to be on his A game, and Tim's not going to quit after losing 4 straight. But always pulling for Tim Brown, the Rocket, the Rural Hall Rocket, Ruco baby, and my boy from Walnut Cove, Dirty South, Burt Myers. Even though you guys are rivals on the track, I pull for both of you. If Burt doesn't win, Tim, I hope you do. If Tim doesn't win, Burt, I hope you do. So that's another 2 guys we have to get on this. So Burt, when I hit you up, you better make sure you get up with me so we can set this podcast up. Same thing, Megan. I know Tim's always in the garage and stuff, working on the car and working at Roush Fenway. So when you guys, when you hear this, Megan, I'm going to tag you in this. So when you hear this, you make sure you set up with me when you guys are coming down to Myrtle Beach, and we'll get you guys by for at least an hour, because I know the Rocket, Tim Brown, will have some good stories to tell, especially about the madhouse down at Bowman Gray. Also, like I said, school's back. Best of luck to our baseball guys that moved into college. My boy Dylan Cuney sent me a little video from his dorm up at Francis Marion University. He's a pitcher there. And, my boys at William Peace. And, my man Austin Hansmeyer from Waccamaw, and he's moved into his college, and he squatted like 12,000 pounds the other day or something. The kid's an animal. And best of luck to all you guys and all my guys that are moving into their respective colleges, not playing baseball. All students, man, find your way, find what you guys want to do in life, what makes you happy. Don't go by what you think society wants you to do and what, even your parents, and it sounds bad, but I don't mean it in a bad way at all, but even maybe what your parents want you to do, find out what you want to do, what makes you happy, because as long as you're happy, that's the only way you're going to succeed and do things that is going to make you any type of success at all. And when I say success, I don't mean monetarily. I mean just in your heart, in your brain. Something that gives you peace at night. That, hey, I did a hell of a job today. I did an honest day's work, and we'll be able to sleep well at night. Even the high school guys that started back today here in this part of the county, or in this county, you guys down in Georgetown and all these other counties that are starting later in the week, you guys lock into your thing, the grind starting now, and the outside distractions, even from, if you're an upperclassman, freshmen coming in, and sophomores, and you're trying to babysit or trying to be the big guy, don't worry about that. You be you. That's the biggest thing is you be you. Like we said on the other podcast that we've had, talking about the seven spiritual laws of success, and I got deep into it today and reading it, and I just want to pass this along to everybody for the rest of the week. It's difficult. It is very, 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 very hard to do every day when you wake up and you don't pick up your phone and you try to do something to make yourself proactive throughout the day as opposed to reactive. But I'm gonna challenge all the listeners tonight to try to do these three things this week. And next week, once we get deeper in the book, we'll go to something even deeper and even more. But just for the next 7 days, number one is there's three parts of applying the law of pure potentiality. And this book is written by Deepak Chopra. Actually had a couple moms, their kids moving in, they had listened to the podcast and stuff, and they said that they're going to make sure that they buy this book from the local bookstore and leave it with their sons, and hopefully they'll read it because of how passionate I was about it. And my wife would tell you, I get passionate about a lot of stuff, and I get really hyped, but this is one thing that it actually kind of chills the passion out a little bit and puts you in perspective of where we are on this earth and what we're here to do, and how you could be the guy walking through all the open houses at school with your suit on and you're jacked and you work at Verizon, or you know what I mean. It's just the reason I say Verizon is or T-Mobile or whatever it is, because Family Guy has a funny skit about that, about like, why are you so jacked? You're lifting a phone all day. You know what I mean? And you're taking time away from your family and stuff like that. But, be that as it may, as the great Alan Smothers says, but applying the law of pure potentiality to our life. And these are three things that we need to do each day. And let's try to do them each day. And I got through these today, and I'm going to try to do it tomorrow. I'm going to try to do even better at it. Number one is take time each day to be silent and to just be. Sit alone in silent meditation at least twice a day for approximately 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the evening. Especially if you have kids, if you have a crazy schedule, find 10 minutes. That's what I told my kids today. So you find 10 minutes each day to no phones, no music, no nothing. Just take 10 minutes and listen to nothing and let your mind relax and let your mind be. And the one of the crazy things is, when I was reading this, they're talking about how the first few minutes anxiety is going to creep in, and all these thoughts are going to rush through your mind, because your mind wants you to go, because that's how we're trained with social media, with the way life is today in 2019 in America. We're trained to go, 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 go. But if we can fight that urge to go, then our mind gets tired of wanting to work. And now we've kind of come into this meditational state. So take time each day to just be silent, to just sit alone in silent meditation a couple times a day for as long as you can, and grow from whatever time you did. Number two, take time out of each day to commune with nature and to silently witness the intelligence within every living thing. Sit silently and watch a sunset, or listen to the sound of the ocean or a stream, or simply smell the scent of a flower, and just be in nature. And that's one thing, especially, and I had it on my list to talk about tonight. I'm not going to. I went to the bus stop today, and I love all our neighbors. I love all that. But, I'm from, like I said, my greatness came from Rural Hall, North Carolina, and that's where I was born and bred. And it's difficult to, when my parents were still living in North Carolina, we would go back there for a few days, or go to Ohio, where my wife's from, in the country, and you come back, and the first thing I always say is, well, welcome back to suburbia, and like I said in one of the podcasts, I think it's podcast number 2, Rural Hall is the fertilizer of my genius. And it just comes down to, it's just different lifestyles. It's just different. You come back and you can't even fart without your neighbor smelling it. You know what I mean? I'm used to being able to go out on my back deck and take a leak, and nothing but the frogs and the crickets. And so, I was at the bus stop today, and there's no nature, and just the suburbia of it, and everybody's just goofy, and it's just everybody wants to be friends or act like you're friends, but you're not really friends because you don't really care about them. But then you're neighbors, so you got to act a certain way. But when you pass everybody on the road, nobody waves back at you. It's just a strange time we're living in. And I was listening to Joe Rogan and Dan Bilzerian podcast over the last few days. That something goes 3 hours, so you think some of mine are long. But it was worth it. It was well worth it. If you don't know Dan Bilzerian, please look him up, especially if you're a dude. He's won billions playing poker, and he does whatever he wants with whoever he wants, whenever he wants. And it's just he had crazy stories to tell, and it was cool. But just the nature side of it, and being, allowing yourself to be who you are, and not worrying about anything outside. And that goes to number 3 of these 7 laws, or of this first law, actually, of the law of pure potentiality. And number 3, to help us get pure potentiality, is practice non-judgment. Begin each day with the statement, today I shall not judge nothing that occurs. And throughout the day, remind yourself, do not judge. And that's got to be one of the hardest things I think that I've had to do. I failed miserably at it today, and that's okay. But if we're always growing, if we have our spiritual side, our physical side, our mental side, and they can all align one day, then we can be a pure, total person. And so obviously I'm not saying do these and I'm cooler than you. You can be like me. I'm reading these. I'm doing these. I'm working on these. But it's pretty cool, and all this stuff from this book I'm able to pass along to listeners, and pass along to my baseball players, and everything like that. So it's pretty cool. The 7 Laws of Spiritual Success, Deepak Chopra. Make sure you guys check that out. And like I said, going into this podcast tonight is literally, I don't know, maybe some guys got some stuff out of it, but just kind of wanted to touch on a few things that had happened over the weekend, and school getting back in, Burt Myers won the championship, Tim Brown always a stud, the Rocket, Somerville baseball being tremendous, opening up and expanding this list of podcast guests and what we're trying to do, and hopefully we can touch on life. We always touch on sports, of course, and the love thing is I feel like I put that on our title because I wanted that to be on there, because the love is the hardest thing to get in 2019. And I'm not saying fall in love or be in love or love this or love that. It's literally like just the love, the Bob Marley love. Like, I saw a cool quote from him the other day, um, about if we could all go back and redo society. And it was neat because, when we're working together as a country, and we're working together as a unit, we're able to sit there and we actually get along. It's like somebody said, I wish we could go back to 9/12/2001, because on that day after 9/11, all Americans were together, and there was no hate, and everybody was buying American flags, and we were actually a united country. And but here I found the quote from Bob Marley. It says, "I wish we were all hippies, and we did yoga, lived in cottages, smoked weed, accepted everyone for who they are, and listened to wonderful music. And I wish money didn't make us who we are. I just wish we could redo society." And I think in 2019, with as many platforms as guys have, we need to stop. And I'm not getting into the kneeling for the national anthem and all that BS, but I think we need to stop always looking to be negative and always looking for a problem, and start being a positive in everyone's life every day, no matter who it is. Because like we said, everybody's going through something. Nobody knows what the other man's going through, and it's going to be tough, and we're always going to find a way to make a negative out of a positive, and all that stuff. So we need to start putting positives out of negatives all the time. But one last thing for you that I have. I'm gonna see if I can find it very quickly here. That's why we need Lester here all the time, so he can look this stuff up for me real quick. All right, so this is pretty cool. I saw this today as well. The story of a Chinese farmer. There's a Chinese story of a farmer who used an old horse to till his fields. One day the horse escaped into the hills, and when the farmer's neighbors sympathized with the old man over his bad luck, the farmer replied, "Bad luck, good luck, who knows?" A week later, the horse returned with a herd of horses from the hills, and this time the neighbors congratulated the farmer on his good luck. His reply was, "Good luck, bad luck, who knows?" Then, when the farmer's son was attempting to tame one of the wild horses, he fell off its back and broke his leg. Everyone thought this was very bad luck. Not the farmer, whose only reaction was, "Bad luck, good luck, who knows?" Some weeks later, the army marched into the village and conscripted every able-bodied youth they found there. When they saw the farmer's son with his broken leg, they let him off. Now, that's good luck or bad luck? Who knows? So, moral of the story is, something could happen to you that you feel is absolutely terrible, but it could be the best thing that ever happened to you, and you won't know over time. Something could happen to you like winning the lottery. You think it's the best thing that ever happened to you, but actually in reality you don't know yet, but it could be the worst thing that ever happened to you. And I guess that's kind of where we are in society. That's where my brain's at this point, is we have to, Mike Stud says it best, you never know, ever, because you never know. Be kind to one another, be kind to the neighbor, be kind to the stranger. Pray together, laugh together, love together, continue working, because we're going to keep working right here on Natural Sponge and Friends podcast. You guys are awesome. The listens and the follows are awesome. This RSS feed, getting that figured out is awesome. Keep working hard. And just so you guys know, I have to bash football real quick. Right before I got on, 49ers and Broncos were playing a preseason game, and I would honestly rather have been hit with a barbed wire bat in the side of the neck than watch that. It was terrible. But Duke basketball is back soon. College basketball is back soon. College football is pretty cool. But we'll keep rocking. Fun list coming up. Fun guest list coming up. We're out. Yeah.